July the 13th of 2021 it is, and today I am gonna talk right here about a Belarus individual involved in MKUltra who appeared also in the city street in Poland, had a Slovenian girlfriend, man who supposedly did go through everything I did. And this individual was introduced into my scenario by no one other than, again, Borut Pahor, Milan Kuchan, and so on and so forth. Well, I was actually even rated one time if it was a real Angela Merkel. I don't know. Polacks did have artificial Angela Merkel, I can tell you that. Rated by Angela Merkel is someone mentally retarded who did not, however, accomplish a goal set for me to have it done, basically prove, give the whole account about where I was in Eastern Europe, Western Europe, all over the world, prove basically MKUltra, and according to her, it's why that she authorized Russia to help me out, basically to help me out. These are the issues that are very, very, very touchy for me. Very touchy for me because, not because I really wouldn't know what to think. I know what I think, I know what to think. But again, this is the stuff that involves a politician, Slovenian politician, Borut Pahor, and his mentor, that is Milan Kuchan. And the two politicians. It further involves other issues as well, including my mental retardedness. And mental retardedness basically equals to swarm of Russians, which basically wanted me dead at all costs. But since I wouldn't die, since I have refused to stop talking about MKUltra in 2015, for what I was told, that they're gonna come to pick you up if you're gonna talk anytime, now, anytime, and then in real time repeated this by a Chetnik psychiatrist right here from Novo Mesto. Her name is Procher, and she's a really good friend also of a Polish psychologist, that if I will only once again mention the word MKUltra, they're gonna come to pick you up, and so they did, and so it was more torture and more me being mentally retarded, basically. Mentally retarded. I should say I did not agree to be mentally retarded, so I had to pay that price. God forbid the order was from the Russian side. You would ever spoke anything about Sergei, then the truth would never come out from this end, whatever. Everything is okay to talk, except about the Sergei, where order was ordered to me from Slovenian president now, Borut Pahor. And so what exactly is to tell about Sergei from Belarus? I did explain well that individual, from what, as far as I can rate one, to the earliest time, was, in my personal view, at his academy which he attended in Belarus. This was a really very fair a very nice individual. I have to tell exactly the way it is. Not because I would want something against him, but for him to understand, for Lukashenko to understand things, for Slovenian people to understand things, for everybody to understand where his, her place is, how things, and so on. This is why this needs to be told. I was actually told that certain things you're never going to tell. You're never going to tell the truth about involvement of heads of minorities from the US about what went on, and as well the likewise was expected from me from Eastern Europe. The same thing. Polacks demanded, all demanded the same things basically. So Sergei, since I remember him, was a very nice man, actually quite outstanding guy, the guy who actually did, kind of really did, I know so, did put life on line for me. Things, however, did go wrong, and did so in Belarus. Things, however, did go really, really wrong in 2005. By 2005, I have endured already so much stuff, so many beatings, so much stuff that is actually, this is impossible to even explain what the fuck went on by then. And I really don't know what's worse actually when it comes to torture. To torture the person like in real time, that means person that is tortured without being drugged up, or to torture a person when he's drugged up. I actually wonder about those things. I don't think I should say anything about. I don't know, because each has a different specifics, but when it came to physical torture and stuff, physical torture was done when I was drugged up. Oftentimes they would intermix with permitted in real life, what could be considered in real life as far as employment issues, with prior MK Ultra and stuff like this to drive one mad. They did that kind of stuff. They did a lot of stuff. There was all kinds of stuff they tried to drive insane. But Sergei, I have no doubt, knew nothing about what went on with me. I would say that he knew a little bit. I actually think that he really didn't know much. He, in my opinion, did not know enough. Okay, enough for me to say, okay, Sergei, you're guilty. At that point in 2005, when they brought a whole set of people, Russian people here to Slovenia, right on Terska Gora, along Navalny was there too. Sergei, I don't think, and a whole set of other Russians did not know what the fuck went on. By then, I didn't even want to see a Russian face. By then, I turned who the fuck wants to be beaten up and tortured and I don't know what, and conditioned and lied in the face and I don't know what. You don't, I don't, nobody wants. Brought me right in front of the church of Saint Mary's birth at Terska Gora, told me that I have to choose. You see, this is already fucked up. That MK Ultra in Poland ended, and I have to choose now, handpick basically the people that are Russians, they're gonna help me out in Slovenia, and it's gonna be Russians and nobody other than Russians. Sergei just happened not to be the one I hand picked. This whole procedure was designed basically to condemn me, of course, and it's also questionable whether the Sergei knew or he didn't know, and who knew what knew. So on our way down, especially because I don't know what I did, I showed him a finger in the face, whatever I did, fuck him, whatever, send him to hell, whatever. Sergei did push me from, you know, in Slovenian language we say škarpa, we say cement block built structure. I wouldn't say fence, whatever. So for me to say, my mom told me afterwards, this thing here that you see, this thing here, this is what this vein here, this here that you see, it really looks nasty, is what stayed on me ever since. That my face quite changed. I was taken to the hospital. That was in retaliation, if Sergei didn't know, because when I think about that somebody drugged up is ordered to pick the people, the Russians, who's gonna help him out survive. Okay, so you're fucking drugged up, tortured, and you are picking up your enemy who's gonna help you save you in your own country. That's fucked up to me as it gets. So, but he didn't know, and so he pushed me down, and I guess I broke my head. They took me to the hospital. Then Sergei was explained all about me magically, told that he could kill me and I don't know what. I heard people very, very unhappy, this and that. I don't fucking trust anybody though. Sorry for me to say, guys. Slovenian, I don't fucking believe you anything at all. But Sergei became this way in charge of my case, understood that it was in his best interest to save his life. I don't believe you a fucking thing again, because I've seen a whole bunch of people killed here in Slovenia. They were killed by the Belarusians and they were murdered by the Russians, by both groups. They had KGB from Belarus and they had a KGB from Russia, and they murdered people here. So I don't fucking believe you anything again. Now, Sergei displayed eagerness to help me out, and he started to help me out by evaluating the stuff I had here concerning my lymph node. This was done in Belgrade in '96. Whatever they have done, damaged one, and what clearly pointed out that over the course of the time I couldn't escape, and there's other scenarios possible they have done. Really have no clue what. I was rated by dangerous by Lukashenko alone, because I had totally attitude without any kind of regretfulness. I was courageous. I didn't bend to any pressures, anything. I suppose everybody else did. I never showed any kind of remorse, and I promised them, I keep promising them, I'm gonna get these people, I'm gonna get them. I told this to Putin, Lukashenko, I didn't bend in front of anybody. Or never you would hear from me any kind of repentance, anything like that. And so decision came out that something really is going to have to be done with me, whatever, in respect to spying too. So I know where those issues came from, who did this, but there was no difference in opinion between the Polacks, especially, and other Eastern European, what some would even refer to as authoritarian, whatever kind of people. Evil was just in the fucking air. Evil was in the air. It was about fucking destroying people's cars, having to work people for nothing, sleep in abandoned structures, causing people spine damages, all kinds of stuff. It didn't change. It was madness. He completely shared his experience to what Borut Pachor referred to me upon return from Poland, related to the lymph node as a cancer. And if I would not remove that stuff, I would be dead and I don't know what. Totally replicated whatever took with me at later stage. For which they have insisted me that I have to go to the surgery. But some people on the side insisted me that you can only remove few lymph nodes, but you can't go and just remove one after another. Basically, the kind of procedure that these people designed, that I have to fight, persist, and maybe I will succeed, escape without further complications like I did so far. But not entirely. It's still bad, certain things are still bad. During his tenure here in Slovenia, he would moved inside of this house and replicated me as the one evaluating my parents exactly on how to view them as, how to pursue them as, what to do, what this and what not, which brought my parents, I believe, under a very close scrutiny. Something that the first one who initiated the type of process, harassment, was Peter Kapsch, a psychiatrist here from Novo Mesto. He was the first one. He laid the ground basically for others that would pretty much replicate the same shit. In some occasions, seen Americans doing that kind of stuff too. Sergei, however, did spend a considerable amount of time here and have familiarized himself extremely well with Novo Mesto, with the area of Novo Mesto, and then Slovenia and so on. Yeah, he really did help me out, I'm gonna say, with walking back and forth. But this exercise, as they claim me, you would not succeed without. He was nowhere even near as a commando, a Belarus commando otherwise, but not into extreme sports as I was, not anywhere even near. I was the one who taught Sergei about how to recuperate spine. I was the one, when he started, he shared with me absolutely everything about the spine pain, this, that, and I was keep telling him whatever I learned from guys in Poland under MK Ultra, whatever I heard, and about the swimming and about pull-ups and stuff like this as an exercise, a form of exercise. And the beginnings were, for Sergei, were very difficult, if real, touchy in a way, because he would use even what you would use usually for packages, for to pack, let's say, a merchandise, a larger merchandise, into carton boxes so that you would wrap that thing. He would use this to tie on the trees, and he would lift himself. He would do the pull-ups and that stuff, and so on and so forth. Now I know fucking nothing really what the fuck went on. Drugged up. It was in my best interest, especially I already told you what they were doing with me in Poland. They carried me, they made me carry, Americans did, backpacks. Such a sorry son of a bitches that after they signed for these missions, not couldn't even bring their shit together, but they would have me carry their backpacks, overloaded backpacks, in a totally improper manners. Like they would shorten, let's say, this, they would pull this like really short, and this would be long, so it will be uneven. Load this with all kinds of shit, and had me carry the stuff like this for extended amounts of period with the idea to cripple me, to break me a spine. This shit did go on, and I don't think that in Poland this shit went unnoticed. It just was tolerated, lied about this, till I started to get myself into the situation that literally suggested in Poland already under MK Ultra that I'm going to be crippled. That is not going to even have to come the real time, so that my spine is going to be completely broken. It was like this already under MK Ultra. Anyhow, at times with the Sergei, I found myself in a really weird situations. I don't know how hot it gets in Slovenia, maybe 30, 35, whatever degrees Celsius. Going uphill on asphalt in the summertime, and with so many extra kilos I had. You could say that overload, whatever issues. I had moments in between when I started to think about what the fuck is going on when I was drugged up, that I compared this, I rated this into area of impossible shit already. Like, yeah, I would say really, really heavy, not only physical, but psychological torture, definitely. On other occasions, since I did go to Maribor city to get the car, using cars and jobs to apply for, to indirectly demonstrate, suggest where I was tortured, the locations of torture, who tortured, and so on. I guess this is just a procedure, the proper procedure. He participated in a spring, in a fall, in situations having the inside of this car, used car that I supposed to buy, during which I was subjected to at least close to zero temperatures, enough for me to be really, really in pain under MK Ultra. That was the stuff he participated in, that kind of stuff. Not that he was with these temperatures, but on other occasions, is what he claimed. It was, I'm not going to even say it, but how politicians, whatever, under MK Ultra demanded me to eat a dog, a live dog that was a dirty dog. That's on a second trail to Tachka Gora. jerked up, that I demonstrated and was video recorded, like completely like an animal, like a barbaric, that I displayed, like some shit like you see in a fucking movie stuff. I remember he did that kind of stuff. On other occasion, sometimes in I think 2012, something like this, or 2010, fuck with me on a Teshka Gara that they don't, I don't know, that they escape him. He was, that they escape him, and would involve all kinds of nature situations, that they escape him, and then they wouldn't allow him, I don't know, to have water, to do this, to do that. I found myself one time inside of the basement in a weekend house of a lady at Teshka Gara, Slovenian. Because she was evil to Sergei. Okay, that suggests that Sergei used extremely heavy drugs on me, and that abuse went into a fucking extreme. Would constantly, if it was dark, it will go into a night downfall, take me into situations in which he would insist that he's coming, and would asking who the fuck is coming. You are coming. And I was like, what the fuck? Where? How? And start telling me. Never tell you what he's doing, but wanted me to connect thoughts on how I'm gonna be, how he's gonna come to shoot me, how he's gonna come and kill me. He connected these thoughts. Yeah, shoot you with a gun at night, sniper. Connected these thoughts with other people that Russians, Belarus government would send here, in case I would object to the Serbian agenda. I repeated that kind of stuff on numerous occasions. Mom does not like to hear this stuff. Mom did not like the shit for which I was told. It's just that Sergei has to do this stuff. Swim across the river right here, and I understand, climb across the door, and then meet me and my mom downstairs in the garage, and have something, and we'll be doing pull, 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 pull. So you do understand that two of you are dead now. You do understand that you're dead now. Basically exercise enormous amount of life threats, demanded from me to accept myself as completely unsuitable, facially unsuitable for Slovenia, and life threatened in case I would have displayed any kind of prejudice against other Slavic related culture. It was all about the Slavic stuff. When I consider all that kind of stuff, and there is way more than that, it becomes obvious to me that I think Sergei had a really good character, that this was a good person. However, this was a heavily politically guided individual. I would not go into area of whether he could or he could not, or whatever he would or he would not. He definitely was not doing this stuff for me. He was doing this stuff for others. He was doing this stuff for the stuff he believed in. He did not believe in us having the right to exist as a sovereign nation, in my view. Did not approve in absolutely any way. You could assess individual as a supremacist from Russia, something like this. Saw me completely uneven, unequal, used everything, including my bicycle. I'm not gonna touch. It's here and come and take it. To break, with idea to instill sickening shit like, we gave you this broken Sergei, but don't worry, because when he orders the same things, you're gonna get his things as new, and he's gonna get your things fucked up. So I have no fucking idea other than from the rational, from the logical point of view, to assess an individual as a tool of board power, Milan Kuchan.
Att det är nekar där därför att stämmet var med Kuchan in den kursen.
Who wanted to
Den Petrus var ju så på pričaj.
in Slovenia we say uveljaviti. Mean decree, okay, who wanted to decree, view in me as unequal, obligated to comply, obey. Maybe perhaps the best case about it was a snake that is blind snake. We call that slepec in Slovenia, which he encountered on a few times on a sidewalk. That they realized that this is because the asphalt heat. That's why I said when I was going to summertime with him, and this is completely fucked up. You know, you're thirsty, and so on and so forth. And this is actually quite a task impossible for people that are not drugged up. Doesn't matter. And the snake would die like this as soon as we try to cross the road, because the heat from the asphalt would kill her. And because this snake was blind, he told me, you are gonna be also killed because you are like this snake, you're blind, you're slepec. Slepec means blind man. And he repeated that shit. They did that stuff for him, I should say. They put the snake right in the part of the sidewalk, like it was under MK Ultra. He demonstrated me. Because I am a slave, it's a blind man, because I just would not allow here in Slovenia to be a Chetnik state, basically. Basically because I refused to turn my back to Slovenian people. You are, rather than not, a lot of other stuff, and I admit it, when it comes to Sergei, because there's too much shit to tell. But then again, yeah, there is a good stuff to tell, as I did about him. He was nice with other. I like the idea that he was capable to relate to people from, newcomers from other parts that would come here. Oftentimes he also would evaluate situations and give me important tips. But the main stuff he did really for me in a positive sense he did in Belarus, and that's actually a place almost, well, unless you have somebody like Lukashenko, impossible. Somebody alone you think the top that you can do something like that, you can't really do anything about it. And he really did a lot in that respect. So I just want to be realistic about basically how, what type of the person, what exactly went on, how went on, and so on.
Рамка таблица звучит, Арис.
Маш. Говори.
I better end this video. The parents are not very comfortable with this. I shouldn't even be recording here, but I figure out that this is the stuff that's actually important for me to discuss. You see, thing is that this thing will come out, and I kind of feel it's not fair for me to state the whole thing, give the whole account about things once things come out, you know. The Russians did rated all the time as the one, you know, we give a help. You will forget about us, you will fuck us, and we did all this, you know, all this for you. All did for me, all this shit they did for me, all this. I am rather not gonna go into the issue what exactly they did for me, because if it was for me today only, to tell you the truth, well, I don't even want to say. You don't want to know this. It doesn't pay me off to tell that, what exactly the situation would be. But you can imagine, not very pretty. When you fuck somebody else, somebody's 26 years of life, you hurt him, you torture him, you do the stuff like this, you kill his friends, you do that kind of stuff, you destroy his health, you literally tell him, we're gonna give him the proofs, but he's not gonna make it through, and so on and stuff like that. Probably, you know what you want to do with the people like this. Nothing nice, nothing pretty, really. Now, this video was not done so I would make things difficult for Sergei. Sergei doesn't have anything to do with it. You could say whatever the hell you would want to say, but the stuff he did with a full knowledge of Slovenian state. And I already did explain what kind of state this is. I explained it really well in detail on what type of the opposition Bolt Pahor and Milan Kujan have here, or who made these things possible. So my mom, that's a good thing, doesn't always have the opportunity to give her opinion, and in this video she actually did have the chance to express her not very meaningful to me. Declining to absolutely acknowledge anything, knows nothing, sees nothing, nothing. Views, whatever. So that's all I wanted to do for this video. That's all I wanted to explain. He in certain areas did a really good job, but really any normal person could accomplish this without any of the stuff I have spoken about. And I actually doubt about a lot of stuff. I doubt about his moral character. I doubt about. I'm not certain that he has a good or that he has a bad moral character. For the certain things, I'm certain he does have a good moral character. For other stuff, as I have explained, a fact that people here in Slovenia don't fucking know anything unless you can recall yourself, that's disgusting enough. So that's all I want to say. And today again is July the 13th of 2021. Thanks for watching this video. For the last thing, I didn't know this is how it's gonna be. Maybe really impressive about the Sergei is that it wasn't only about broken stuff, that they would break him stuff, that they would do things to him, that afterwards they replicated to me. It wasn't about that kind of stuff only, but it was also about the poisoning. And the poisoning was done like this, that I was the one who was asked by mom what to do with these people. How the fuck you ask this kind of question somebody that is drugged up? Why are you asking? It's about the same shit like the same Marys over there at Tashkagara. Fucking enemy goes inside of your home, that torture you. Why the fuck you ask that kind of stuff? And break down questions into whether to poison them or to give them good food, how to treat them. That's so fucked up. And so I was also told that I was the one who selected the poison option for them. You know? And that again relates back to broken stuff and that kind of stuff that poor Sergei have to go through. No, but I really fucking did. And I was guilty. The rust, all kinds of shit, I had to go through. Whatever Sergei complained about, it was difficult for him here inside of this house, health related stuff as food, I had to go through. But the food was specially selected to damage, designed to hurt lymph nodes, gland nodes, because it was my time to prove myself, if you understand. That is, but really nothing else I have to say. So then you go and you judge what kind of moral character, what kind of person the fuck that is. Because of this, of course, the truth will never come out. But because of this, the truth did come out before it would actually die away. Because the truth, these people have never released about anyone they killed. July the 13th, 2021. They fucking kill people in front of their parents' eyes, in front of their families, in front of their friends, in front of the public, for a good laughter. no, I would still not want to charge Sergei with absolutely anything, because of his early time in Belarus, because he helped, he really did. Because he didn't help me out, he helped other people out too. And because it was just a political tool in my view. He had to play the game according to the notes of somebody else who pressed on him, whether I like it or not. But still, if I would go to Belarus and start telling people about how to think, what to think about it, how to view their national integrity, their basically their citizenship, but nationality, how to see themselves in a way like this, they wouldn't like it. They wouldn't like any of that stuff if probably I would not, most certainly they would not let me get away with it alive. This is 100% fact. If I would go and I would do the stuff like this to the person that is it would be actually, it's stupid to talk about that stuff because it's actually impossible. Something like this would happen there. They don't allow that kind of stuff. Period. That stuff only was allowed here in Slovenia because of the people I already stated. It's a Borut Pahor, it's a Milan Kučan, and that also is the opposition, which I believe, in my opinion, the biggest mistake have done by viewing themselves as everything except not a part of this country. In one way, you had people that saw themselves as Russians, as a Serbian Chetniks, whatever you want to call this, everything Eastern European except not Slovenian. And on the other hand, we had a people that saw themselves as very, very little pertaining to this country. That means that they sided with somebody else from somewhere else and have allowed themselves to commit a total betrayal against the values which Slovenian nation have displayed in 1991. That's will toward independence. Enough said, I don't have anything else to say about it. So, but this is a real Sergei, this is a real stuff. So that somebody here in Slovenia is not going to think that something was given for free from somebody, so that somebody here in Slovenia is not going to fucking lie. That everything was okay, everything was normal, that we have something more to look common, that we have something more common, that we don't give chance or something like that. I don't like that kind of feeling. I definitely not get anything from anybody. I was actually guilty pretty much as Borut Pahor, Milan Kučan needed world to turn against Slovenia. Whoever the fuck came here, whoever got across me, they made sure, these people made sure that they would hate me. Because, you know, they won the war against Slovenia. They wanted us to eat one another, and they wanted the world to hate the fact that we exist. This is just, I understand who created, how created, and then in a bigger picture, then you have this Germany, which I think some of these people, as I mentioned, this opposition, maybe, West, I should rather say, found refuge in, because in front of their eyes, it appeared probably the whole battle as completely lost. But again, this battle was lost the day when they brought me here and these people allowed for shit to go on. And that goes to Mr. Boucher, who took me to Belorussian for a fishing trips. In a parenthesis, fishing trips, because there was some ladies there too, right on the border with the Croatia, and I already spoke about the bordelos, the Serbian bordelos in Croatia, and you know, they had that kind of stuff in Bela Krajina too. So this shit has a long history. This is just the way it is. So I thought this would be like really, really important. I did not complete the whole thing about me demanding a poisoning. It's like this. That was my niece involved in it. If you will say, and my mom, if you will only say, oh, Jesus Maria, Jesus Christus, oi, oi, oi. If you will only say, I prepared him this, I prepared him that, and Sergei, the only thing he would do, to dobra, tak, this good, yes, this good to eat, yeah, this good to eat, this good to fucking eat, you see this good to eat, this good to eat, this good to eat, this good to eat, I don't know, I eat the food, I don't, when you drugged up, you don't think about if it's fucking poison or what the fuck you eat, you know that, you don't. If you have been on the MK Ultra, the people who know about the MK Ultra, they can tell you, when you're drugged up, you don't think about if it's poisoned or whatever it is. You eat whatever the food they give you. You don't burn yourself because of too much shit they do, you don't even worry about that kind of stuff. I didn't. This is good to eat, this is good to eat, this is good to eat, this is good to eat. Don't even, if you eat some shit, in other words, if you eat something poisonous, don't even say it, because everything is watched, everything is listened. And if they come to conclusion that we did gave you something bad, something poisoned, they're gonna kill us. This was the whole scenario in respect to the food shit, concerning a part of Sergei only here. Okay, so just need you to understand the type of why I am skeptical, why I don't believe. It's not only about that you aren't told fucking anything, but only whatever you can tell out of your brain, out of your memory, basically. That I don't trust. Not even people from here. Not that I would go and fucking trust somebody who was employed by the military, by the Belarus military, by the Russian military, basically hired to, that I'm not gonna say something. And for whom I still believe there is a lot of good stuff in here. But the part of it, I don't believe. It's also other stuff that I see that's not in mine. Definitely would not bet my life on something like that. Yeah, you get this? So that's how. You know? From the free tickets in Shmarješka Toplica for swimming, instead of that I did some winter Krka swimming and stuff like this to get by, to help myself with a broken spine as much as possible. But yeah, the Sergei got and free tickets and women and It was one good, happy fuck place, to put it this way. To well-paid jobs in Kirka Pharmaceutical and so on and so forth. I would not fucking compare a person like this to the real issues, to some kind of real help or something like that, because I'm not mentally retarded. I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. This is a big difference, the stuff I talked about. In one side, what somewhat replicated me through the exercise I did go through, and on the other hand, completely different stuff. Completely gorgeous life compared to me. This is no way to replicate, to compare to something that's crazy. Joke the most. And if it really was an Angela Merkel, that this was a help I got, that this is what the help was. Okay, and in that case, well, thank you very much for that help. Well, we're gonna find out if this was really, in a parenthesis, help. We're gonna let these people know what kind of help this was, because I want people to understand what kind of help was, because I'm retarded, and this is nothing to be afraid about. People will understand how much I need that kind of help. It's a good thing good for everything that I have gone through is good, as long as the people get the whole truth about basically about what went on. About good, bad, and ugly, whatever. I had Serbs coming here telling me, I grew up here in this river. Watching you right across the river, don't even think about coming close to the river with a fishing pole. I had to go eventually pick up half-dead fish from the Krka River that birds would hurt to eat one, because my father is demented. He is not in shape. He could go fishing, and you take him out there, boy, I didn't even put the stuff how it ended real time, because it's too crazy. It hurts too much. The stuff he did for the psychiatrist Peter Kapsch, it ended up with the police and all kinds of stuff. And never mind. The fishing association here in Novo Mesto is its boss is appointed a Serbian Chetnik. No kidding. Who would also transport me to Serbia. No kidding. For torture. Sergei got to kill fish with a gun. With the weapons. Not even with the fishing poles. No fucking ticket needed. No fucking way that I would see myself in something like this as being part of me being part of that, and so on and so forth. No. These are two very different issues that Slovenian natives here from Novo Mesto knew about, watched. I have no idea. I don't know what to tell you about. I just need to keep things clear about who is what, who was retarded, what is retarded, I would even go into the mental issues they presented through, and so on and so forth. A little bit too much to talk about in this video. This was something else stuff, but Sergei supposedly had answers absolutely for everything. Absolutely for everything. Enough said for now, right? This is enough for you to understand what kind of stuff this was. For you shit for your fucking job search, a car search, where we tortured you, a fucking fish of can. That's your fucking reality. And some other health related issues. And you are to see yourself in a Soviet Union, man.